This is going to be a fun and light-hearted video about audiophiles, and I think there's like tremendous amount of videos now out there on trying to sort the audiophiles into different categories, and I like most of those videos, and here I thought I'd just give a spin on my own here on the subject and go a little bit deeper than what I have seen online, because people try to put audiophiles into different categories, but these categories are not arbitrary, and they are not I mean, they are arbitrary, but they are not fixed, and it's wow. I think all of these categories stay with us, and when you look at anyone, you can put them basically into all of the categories at one point in their life. And why I'm making this video really is to just give you just a breakdown to 4 different attitudes that you can apply towards audio and audio gear and music reproduction, and what sort of lessons we can learn from each of them, and how we can be of any of the 4 types, but have the best out of that character. And when you look at, oh wait, I think I had the order wrong here. So what is the first approximation is that there's a progression from the first, second, third, and the fourth. And let's see how do I categorize them, and what is the first, what is, and so on. So the first one, first audio type, guys, I would call the clueless. And this is actually how all of us starts out. You have an experience, like I had an experience hearing the first audiophile system in my life, and under that I mean a sound system that has more to it than just being able to play loud and with remarkable power. That's kind of where the non-audiophile world ends, right? That an average person thinks a good system is that can play loud and sounds powerful. That's what most people think, that that's the best you can get out of audio, power and volume. But when you hear an audiophile system in a good sense, then to me an audiophile system is something where you have a glimpse of quality. It's not like you are getting tons of rotten apples. You are getting maybe a single apple, but it's tasty, and it's fantastic. That's what audio is to me. And audiophile or good quality audio starts with the ability to hear imaging. That means that the sound is not just a wall of sound anymore, something coming out of a box, but it starts to happen in the air. So you feel that it's not reproduced by boxes, and it's not coming out of a boomy some environment, but it's happening around you, and it has clarity to it, and a sort of a peace. It's kind of like having a vision, and you are having an auditory vision basically. But in the beginning, when you hear that, you are the clueless guy. You have no idea how is it happening, how come that it's possible to reproduce that only 2 channels are reproducing a 3D experience. What on earth is going on? How come I never heard about it? But at this point we are so clueless, we have no idea how the equipment are priced, and if you go up in the prices or equipment quality, what is happening. Did you really go up in the quality of the equipment, or am I just being punked? Is this product that I'm buying expensive because someone is getting filthy rich, or did they really put in the technology, the effort that makes it, brings it to a place where it can be only sold for that much amount of money? So what's going on? And when you are clueless, then everything people tell you, you just realize that there's an audiophile community, and then there's someone telling you, you want better speakers, get magnepans, and you hear magnepans, oh my god, that's the best thing I heard in my life. And then there's another guy telling you, hey, check out my system, I have low power tube amps. Okay, now I need a low power tube amp for my magnepan. And then you do it like low power tube amp with magnepan, and you realize, oh, what am I missing here? I cannot listen to Aerosmith anymore. What's going on? So that's the clueless phase, and we are all trying hard to grow out of that. But I would say that this phase is not just the clueless guy, but also this is where we perceive the wonder. And then later on, as you become a more experienced audiophile, but you should never forget how you felt when you were the clueless guy, when you listen to something, you are sitting there and you have no idea what to expect, what will come next. So I think it's important, when you go along your audio journey, you carry that clueless innocence with you, that you allow yourself to be surprised. Because even though you will get more and more knowledge, but even after decades, you can still be surprised. I am often surprised, and I love those moments. And just be aware, regardless of what your audio knowledge basis is, what your experience is, to be open for those moments that will make you think that I'm so clueless what's going on, because there are going to be those moments, and when they happen, don't close yourself to it, stay open and learn from it, because those are the moments that can catapult you to the next level, or to open you up to have experiences that you thought were not possible. And audio really is about experiences. So let's go to the next guy, next level, the scientist. And I say quote unquote scientist because I think you have seen many of these guys running around who, when they listen to an audio gear, before they turn it on, before they're willing to listen to it, they research it thoroughly. Like for an amplifier, they know what the RMS watt rating is, and they know at which impedance they have how many watts, and the THD and all sorts of things. So you try to find a way to navigate the world of audio by looking at the measured published facts. And obviously this is something that is part of audio, and even if you think that you just go by your ears and make it your guiding star, even then, if you know about measurements, if you know about the science behind it, it will be of tremendous use for you. And for those of you who are at the level where you try to find your way with numbers, now this is my cautionary warning, and this warning comes from a scientist who is not a quote-unquote scientist, but a real scientist. So actually, my background is biomedical background, but I was an apprentice of a real audio scientist, Stu Ono, who was one of the leading experts in the audio field. And basically I was his apprentice for well over a decade. And that is something that if we look into, let's say, like biomedical field, it's like you are going to see your doctor. In the US, doctors have their trainings, so they go to university and they learn anatomy and all sorts of information that's required. That's like a knowledge basis. But after they have that knowledge basis, they are not ready to practice yet. They have to do their residency. And it's the residency when they are basically supervised by an experienced physician. And that's where they learn how to really transform or translate that knowledge that they have learned. And it's just up to that point, it's just books. It's just a telephone book. It's like memorizing telephone books. You have to be able to apply that knowledge to real life situation. And for physicians, they learn it during their residency. And only after that, they are able to treat people. And that's the same thing in audio. If you have an audio education, if you go to a university and learn engineering skills, after that you have your diploma, you are not ready yet to be an audio professional. You are a novice. And you only know how to read the facts, how to read books, but you don't know yet how to apply that to create a product that has good musicality. You are at that level where you know how measurements work, but you don't know yet what makes music music. For that, you need to become an apprentice. And you go work for a big company like Bauer Wilkins, or maybe if you are lucky, you can get to a company like Audionaut or some others, or Conrad Johnson. And after you are an apprentice there for like 5-10 years, now you are ready to build your product. And that's the experience I had. So I did not get a diploma, a degree in a university. I went directly to this apprentice phase, and under the tutelage of Stu, that's where I learned those things that people would learn at a university. So I do not have a formal education. I picked up my education along the way from my mentor and from books and through osmosis, basically. Um, but that's it. So when you are a physician, that's the same thing. You are basically under the guidance of the physician who guides you through the residency program. And after a point, that physician will say, and the board will say, that now you are ready to become a physician and practice on your own. And I would say if you go through that audio residency program, then you become the true scientist. Until then, you are a quote unquote scientist, even if you have received a degree in electronics, because that's just a drop in a bucket of water in audio. You have to learn so much more, and you have to be able to put it in practice before you can really apply it, before you can have an overarching knowledge of the world of audio. And there are other guys who maybe most people don't go deep into that road, and they just get lost because they just get hung up on a few numbers without understanding how those numbers translate to experience, system synergy, and so on. So there's a bunch of guys who become the restless guys because they realize that the quote-unquote scientist method doesn't work. Measurements alone will not predict sound quality. There's more to it, but they don't want to figure it out, or they can't figure it out. So they come into a state where we are paranoid, because we just watch the reviews, we just make decisions, but there's the constant nervousness. Did I make the right decision? There are these two loudspeakers. There's the calf and there's the whatever. And did I pick the right one? There were 5 reviews that said the calf is better, but I bought it based on that. And after I bought it, 2 days later there came out another review and excuse me, and that says the exact opposite. Oh my God, what happens now? Did I make the right choice? And and a lot of audiophiles who have been into it for 10 years or more, and they have already great systems. They just cannot enjoy their systems because they are stuck in this restless period. And and when you talk to them, you visit or you listen to their system. If you like listen like next year, there's not even a single piece of electronics that's the same from a year ago. And that type of attitude is really something that poisons your experience. So you just need to quiet down and just focus on music. And that's when you get to the satisfied phase. So that's the 4th type of audiophile, who is beyond of his paranoia of, did I make the right choice? Do I have the best system of the world? So if you have that as a goal, that I want to have the best audio system in the world, you will be always in the restless category. Even if you have a $10 million system, you will still be restless, because next year there's a $20 million system coming out, and maybe that might be better than your $10 million system. And oh my God, what's happening? The world is ending. You will never be satisfied. So when you just forget that nonsense about beating everyone, having better system than your bodies, like you are competing against the world or I don't know whom, forget it. Just think about, I want to enjoy music. And when you make changes in your system, just notice, does it make me play more music? Or do I notice that I'm not even turning on my stereo anymore? Only when my buddies come over, we listen to 5 songs, just like click, 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 30-second sound snippets. Oh, look at the dynamics here. Look at the frequency extension there, blah, blah, and that's it. So when you transition to this category, when you are satisfied with your system, and then if there's the choice of making a change, like trying out a new preamp or listening to music, and then you say, oh, okay, I rather want to listen to Franz Lehar's The Merry Widow instead. If you make that choice, even though that's like a very promising preamp that your body wants to loan to you, then you know for sure you are in the satisfied category, because it doesn't matter anymore. And I would say this is like a constant circle for all of us. We usually oscillate between these 4 phases, and I would say that just aim for that, and aim for being a satisfied music listener, and to reach that phase sooner in your life, just make music the center of your audio, and keep that as your prime judging criteria. Do I like how it sounds, or I don't like? And if you don't like it, then you are not going in the right direction. So thank you for tuning in. That's it for today. Good night, folks. Bye bye.